Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name's Mike and this is Build and Tinker, and today we're carrying on with our Fast and Furious Toyota Supra. This is pack 3, which is issues 6, 7 and 8, and in this pack we also get our first binder. They're quite useful for obviously keeping the magazines in afterwards, or a nice little keepsake. We get a few of these throughout the build, and they do charge you for them. I think you can opt out if you don't want them. So it's not going to take too long today because we don't have a great deal to do, but we are working on the engine block, and hopefully by the end of today's video we'll have a good chunk of the engine done. So let's get started. And here are the parts for issue 6, and we've got some big chunky metal components, and here is one half of the engine block. And what seems to be another part that's I think is going to go underneath and hold the two halves of the engine block together. We have our oil pan, which is plastic, which is actually in some cars now we're seeing that for real. Some screws, and we'll get these out. We've got a couple of brackets here as well. A couple of these are actually metal, which is quite nice. So we start with this part of the engine block, and on the side of this we're going to fit a small bracket, which is part 6C, and it doesn't screw in place, it's just got a couple of studs that push it into place, but we do have to get it the right way up, and you'll see from here that it's shaped. There's a little cutout notch on that side, and it matches a little cutout notch on the block itself, so we simply push that into place, keeping it square and making sure we don't accidentally snap anything off. And then into that piece goes this. This is a an engine block support, an engine mount. It has a sort of square end on one end and round on the other. The square end is going to go into this hole here, and we want it facing downwards towards the base of the engine. And whilst we try and hold that in place, we'll grab a CM screw, so that is a metal part, and we're going to screw that into place. And there we go, that's that piece fitted. So we have this, they call it the crankcase. There is a plug to fit into this, so in this bag here we have a very tiny little silver piece, and it is incredibly small. If you can see it there, it is in my hand. It's just there. Might use some tweezers for this one, and we simply need to push it into a hole in the end of this case. Okay, and there it is in the hole, a little bit fiddly, and hopefully it will stay there. It's not the tightest to fit. And then this cover screws onto this plate here. So it goes on the underside, and it's shaped so it's kind of obvious which orientation it goes in. And then there are 4 screws, AP screws, that hold it in place. And then we take this bracket here. It's a right angled piece, and it's made of metal, and it drops into this recess in the center of this plate. Again, it is shaped so it's kind of obvious which way round it goes, and we need 2 AM screws to hold that in place. And then we take this block that we've just put together, and it sits over the top of this base piece, and you'll see that there are 2 little posts on it, and they align with the 2 holes in that bracket we've just fitted. So in fact we may find it easier to, I'm going to position it this way so the holes face me, so you can see them there. And again, 2 more AM screws to put that together. And that is those two halves of the, or two parts of the engine brought together, and that's actually the end of this issue number 6, so we'll go straight on to number 7. And in issue 7 we get another part of the block, and sorry, that's the part of the cylinder head, and this is the other part of the block. And we also have two halves of a starter motor, another engine mount, and a couple of other brackets, plus the screws. And we start exactly the same way as we did with the last issue, by putting this plastic piece over the engine mount hole and pushing it squarely into place like that. And then we put the engine mount in, and we get another CM screw to hold that in. Pretty much a carbon copy of what we did on the other side. And the next step is to bring together the two halves of the starter motor. They have some plastic pins and plastic recesses, so it's very simple. They simply push together, and there's our starter motor. And we attach that to this block, the one that we've just assembled, and it goes on this end. You'll see there's a hole here, a little recess, and there's a little pin above it. And there's a pin here on the starter motor that goes in there, and that enables us to get it all lined up properly. And then we're going to screw in from behind with an AP screw, so let's get that ready first. And just gently screw that into place. There we go. And that's actually it for this issue. So we have the cylinder head and this other piece that we haven't used, and they don't go together until the next issue. So with issue 7 complete, we'll move on to issue 8. So in issue 8 we get quite a lot of very small pieces, and some are black, some are chrome, some are matte silver. It looks like we've got some turbo components, an oil filter and other things. So let's have a look at what we have and how it goes together. So there's quite a few steps because there's quite a few pieces, but they all look quite straightforward. So we're going to start with the air filter, which is this piece here, and then we have, well, that's the air filter pipe, and then we have the filter itself is this ribbed piece, and they simply, one goes over the top of the other like so, and pushes in, and then there is a screw that we need to put in the end to hold that in place, and it's a BP, and it simply goes, you can't really see the hole, it's quite dark, but it simply goes in the center. And there's our air intake. It actually rotates, which it probably wouldn't do in real life, but there you go, tighten up it, that's better. Yeah, if you tighten it up, it doesn't. And then on the end of there is a cap, which I think is this one. So you obviously cover over the screw itself, and that just pushes onto the end just like that. So we've got our air filter on its intake hose. And the next thing we're going to do is assemble the turbo. So there are two. They're probably, I don't know if they're handed or not, so let's get the bits out and have a look. So all the pieces for the turbos seem to be chromed. So we've got these 4 housings. This small piece here, 8J, which is like a matte finish. This larger piece here, sort of circular piece, again another matte finish, that I believe is 8I, and we also need this manifold because we're going to attach the whole lot to that. So we start by assembling the turbo. So we take this piece here, which is 8E, and it's identifiable because it's got quite a long spindle sticking out of it. And onto that we slide 8J. Now the spindle is shaped, it's got a keyway, so you can't put it on backwards, or at least, oh sorry, you can't put it on facing the wrong way. And 8J just slides over just like that. We then take this back plate here, which is 8D. Now you can identify 8D because again it also has a shaped hole in the center, and there's two little plastic pins on there, so this just snap fits onto the other side of this turbo like so. Having assembled those two halves, the remaining two halves also get put together. Again, they can only go one way. You just push them together so that the spindles fit, and then we bring those two turbos together. So there's a smaller hole on that side, so these all go together like this. The hole is keywayed, so again you can't get the orientation wrong by the looks of it. So with the two halves of the turbo together, we take an AP screw and it just goes in through this larger recess, the hole in the larger recess, and just holds those two halves together. And then we take our one remaining round matte silver piece and it pushes over that to hide the screw. And then the whole lot gets screwed onto the manifold. So on this large plate here on one half of the turbo, there's a screw hole and then there's like a stud, and that matches up with these holes here on the manifold. So we just line them up like that, and then we use another AP screw, and that goes in the back here, holds the turbos onto the manifold like that. And then we take the side of the cylinder head that we have, and we need to put the manifold onto that. So holding it this way, these tabs at the bottom, it goes onto the side, and it looks like we've got two holes here that are going to accept screws, and they need to line up with these two holes that are recessed in there. The turbo's facing towards the top, and once you line it up, it fits really well. So it's you can tell it's in the right place because it slots in nicely. And we need two more AP screws. And there it is. So the air intake that we made earlier actually goes on to, you'll notice it has a shaped piece that matches the hole in here, and it goes on to the intake there for the turbo on that side. Just pushes on. And then we have a black plastic bracket. Okay, so this is the one that was left over from the previous issue, and it goes into, in fact, you know, I'm going to take this air intake off because it's going to be a lot easier to put the bracket on first. And it pushes into the hole in the end here. Now we've got to make sure we get it the right way up, and I'm not entirely clear which way up it goes because the picture is tiny. Okay, I think it goes this way. So there's a flat piece there with a stud sticking out of it. I think it goes like that, so that we have a post pointing down and a post pointing out, I think. All right, now we'll put our air intake back on. So it's quite a big piece sticking out of that engine, so we're going to need to be careful with these because they're only plastic. They could break quite easy if we're not careful. So the next thing we need is the oil filter support. It's a silver piece, and we also need this black piece here, which is a circular piece, and it's part of the support, and that's the oil filter mount. So so there's a key piece on this side. It's the wider side, and it's shaped, and it fits into a similar shaped hole on here, so it's hard to get that wrong. We've then got two really fiddly pieces to put on. They're in this bag here, and they're silver, and they look like they are oil line spigots of some kind, so I think they're going to take oil lines at some point, but they're really tiny. So they have a small piece, a small post that sticks out, and a wider one. Looks like the wider one goes into these holes in the mount. Again, pretty small, so we're going to pop it down on the table here, and we'll use our tweezers to get to try and get this in. Now the posts are slightly angled, so they need to be, you want the little post pointing upwards when you're finished, so you've got to orientate it that way. Okay, the first one's gone in quite easy actually. I hope the second one behaves just as nicely. And there we are. It was actually quite straightforward, so it's not always that way. Sometimes you get lucky. Make sure they're facing the right way. And then we also have an oil filter, so it's this black piece. They've actually put some printing on it, which is quite nice, a little bit of realism. A lot of the times you get oil filters for these models and they're just black shiny plastic and they don't look very realistic. That just pushes onto the end of this mounting bracket here. And there are some oil lines, so we have two, and one is longer than the other. So the long one, if we orientate the filter so it's standing up, and I've got the posts on the right, the mounting posts of the lines, the longer one goes on this one on the right side, and then the shorter one goes on the other one. They're a nice tight fit, just be careful not to crush the line or break the stud. And there we have it, there's our oil filter with its feed and return lines on it. So we attach it to this engine block here, which has the starter motor on it. Bizarrely, in the pictures the starter motor's disappeared, but we know it's there because we fitted it. So there's a hole here, and that goes onto, it literally fits in. Again, it is keyed, so you can really only put it one way. We're going to need an AP screw, so let's get that ready. So I'll hold it in place and put the screw in from here. And there it is, mounted onto the side of the block. Next we take this large chrome piece, which is the turbo cover, and we need to put some mounts onto it. The mounts are here. They're black plastic pieces, and they're just push fit, so they have a hole in. They have a hole in both ends, so we need to make sure we get this the right way around. So on this end there is a hole on a smooth piece. On this end there's a hole on a recessed piece. We want the smooth side to go onto these studs, but we've got to make sure we get this the right way around as well. So there is a sort of wider flange on this side, so that's going to be on my left, and the bracket is going to face away from me. It just pushes onto the stud there, and there's another one on that side. Again, check the diagram, make sure that what I said just makes sense to you. We don't attach this to anything yet because that is now the end of this issue. So we've got three key pieces of engine really. We've got the main, or one side of the block here with this sump piece. The other side of the block with its starter motor and oil filter. We've got one half of the cylinder head with the turbos and air filter, and of course we've got this cover which we've yet to fit. And that is everything for those three issues, which is pack 3 of the Fast and Furious Toyota Supra. So I hope that was helpful, and I hope you enjoyed the video. I suspect it won't be long before we see this engine coming together with a few more pieces, and then be good to get onto some chassis. So I hope you enjoyed the video. Please remember to click that subscribe button and click that like button and help promote the channel. And I look forward to seeing you next time. Take care.